everyone, welcome to our educational program. My name is Ms. Layla and today we are going to discuss Unit 6, Grade 7. Let's read the title of Unit 6. It is Celebrations and Food. In this episode, the 22nd episode, we're going to read and we are going to learn about punctuation marks. So, we're going to begin by reading, but first of all, let's mention some the tips that is related to reading. As we always mention, I'm just going to refresh your memory. We have to read the questions first, of course, so we can put them in mind and underline the answers while reading. Read the text more than once. You have to understand the text. Read the first sentence of each paragraph. The first sentence is very important. Underline the key facts and words of the text. Write your answers in full sentences and in clear handwriting. When you come across a difficult word, try to guess its meaning from the words before and after. For the types of questions you're going to face for reading comprehension, of course, these are two types of questions. We have multiple choice questions, and that we're going to ask you what is the best title and what is the main idea of the paragraph, and we're going to give you unfamiliar words that you don't know. We will ask you choose the closest meaning to the unfamiliar word or choose the opposite meaning of the unfamiliar word. We're going to give you a pronoun and ask you to refer it to its noun, so word reference. Locating explicit information, meaning that the information is clear and written in the text. We have extracting implicit information. You have to read, as I just said, more than once so you can understand and write from your own understanding. And lastly, the purpose of the writer. I'm going to ask you, what is the purpose of the writer? Why did he write this passage? And for the second type of question, the productive questions, where you're going to write your answers down. So we have two types, either explicit question, the answer is clearly mentioned in the text, you will just look for them in the text. And we have implicit question, the answer is implied and not given clearly in the text. So you have to understand and write it from your own understanding. Now let's read about celebrations and food. This is in your student's book, page 39. So before you read, look at the pictures. What celebrations can you think of? So what celebrations can you think of? We have the picture number 1, number 2, and number 3. So before we answer, let us look at the questions before we start reading, of course. The questions you will face, number 1, what is the best title of the first celebration? Number 2, the word costume in the third paragraph means what exactly? Number 3, the pronoun them in the first celebration refers to what exactly? According to the celebration, how long does the Chinese New Year festival last? Number 5, in the Kuwait National Day, buildings and hotels are. What is the purpose of the writer in writing about the celebration? Which calendar does Eid al-Fitr follow exactly? And lastly, why do the Chinese dress in red in their New Year? So we have the first celebration, number 1. This Eid celebrates the end of Ramadan in the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. It is a religious festival of happiness and joy. It is not always on the same date because it follows the calendar of the new moon. The second paragraph, in the morning people go to Eid prayer. They wear new clothes and young people receive gifts and money. It is a time where Muslims or when Muslims think about the poor and help them. and a time for forgiveness. The celebrations last for 3 days and schools and offices are closed. Now we have the second celebration. This celebration happens in late January or early February in China and follows the calendar of the new moon. It celebrates spring and lasts 15 days. In the second paragraph, people clean their homes and decorate them with red decorations, flowers, fruit, and sweets. People wear new clothes and visit their families and friends. Red is a lucky color, and young people receive gifts of money in red envelopes. On the 15th night, a lantern festival is held in the streets. There is a huge lion parade with dancers and musicians playing loud drums. Now for the third celebration. Kuwaitis celebrate this day every 25th of February. It is a mark of the historic struggle for independence and the wonderful past of the country. This day is celebrated with great activities. Public get-togethers are held. Official buildings as well as modern hotels are magnificently decorated with lights and flags. Kuwaitis wear the national costume of the country as part of the holiday tradition. Fireworks displays are common on this day. Now, for the questions from A, B, C, and D, choose the correct answer. For the first question, what is the best title of the first celebration? Is it A, Eid al-Fitr, B, the new moon, C, receiving gifts, D, time for forgiveness? So, before we answer, let's read the tip we have here. The main idea is the most important point or thought of the passage. So, the answer here is A, Eid al-Fitr. Excellent. So the best title of the first celebration is Eid al-Fitr. Next, number 2. The word costume in the third celebration means what exactly? Is it A, gift, B, uniform or clothing, C, school, D, fireworks? So let's underline the word first and let's guess the meaning from the context. It's B, excellent, uniform or clothing. So costume means uniform or clothing. Number 3, the pronoun them in the first celebration refers to, is it A, Muslims, B, clothes, C, gifts, or D, the poor? So first of all, we underline the pronoun and then we trace it back to its noun. We have several nouns here. We have clothes that is highlighted, gifts, Muslims, and the poor. So them refers to what exactly? Excellent, it's D, the poor. Number 4, according to the celebration, how long does the Chinese New Year festival last? Is it A, 10 days, B, 15 days, C, 20 days, D, 25 days? As we see, it's underlined in the paragraph, it's B, 15 days. Number 5, in the Kuwait National Day, buildings and hotels are A, visited by only Kuwaitis, B, decorated with flowers, or C, covered with colorful glass, and D, decorated with flags and lights. As we see, it's underlined in red or highlighted in red. The answer here is buildings and hotels are excellent, decorated with flags and lights. Number 6, the purpose of the writer in writing about the celebration is it A, persuade us to travel to China, B, describe how the Chinese clean their homes, C, tell us a story about a family's day in Eid al-Fitr, D. Give us information about celebrations in the world. So before we answer, what is the purpose of the writer? Why did he write about the celebrations? Is it because he is giving facts about something? So he is informing. If he is getting you or to do or change your thoughts about something, he is trying to persuade you. If he's telling you a humorous story or teach you a lesson, he is trying to entertain. And lastly, if he's giving mostly details about a person, place or thing, he is describing. So what did he do? What did the writer do in the text? He gave you lots of information about celebrations of the world. So the answer here is D. Give us information about celebrations in the world. Now, B. Answer the following questions. 7. Which calendar does Eid al-Fitr follow? 8. Why do the Chinese dress in red on their New Year? Before we answer, look for the evidence. Of course, look for the evidence in the text and then answer in complete sentences. Okay. Number 7. Which calendar does Eid al-Fitr follow? So, first of all, we have to underline the evidence, and that is, or it's highlighted in red because it follows the calendar of the new moon. So we write it in a full sentence saying that Eid al-Fitr follows the calendar of the new moon. 8. Why do the Chinese dress in red on their New Year? Red is a lucky color, it says, and that is highlighted. So because they believe red is a lucky color. So now we just finished reading the passage or the text. Moving on, we're gonna enter the second section of the episode, and that is capitalization. So what is capitalization? Capitalization is the action of writing or printing in capital letters or with an initial capital. What are the rules of capitalization? There are certain rules for we can't just capitalize every letter. Rule number 1, of course, capitalize the first letter of the word in every sentence or question. So, as we see in the examples, number 1, the cat is sleeping. So, the word cat here is the first word of the sentence, so the word has to be, or the first letter has to be capitalized. This also applies to number 2. Where did you put my book? So, where is the first word, so the first letter of the first word is capitalized. Rule number 2. Capitalize the pronoun I. I would never just write the pronoun I in small letters. Always capitalize I. For example, I will buy new shoes for my exercise. My brothers and I are joining a swimming club this summer. Number 3, the rule number 3, capitalize the days of the week and the months of the year. So we would say, we went shopping last Friday. Even though the word is at the end, it's a day of the week, so it's capitalized, Friday. Number 2, my birthday is in April. April is capitalized, this first letter. Number 3, Muslims fast in the month of Ramadan. Rule number 4, capitalize holidays and special days or events. For example, we have Eid al-Fitr is capitalized, is a special occasion for Muslims. People in Kuwait celebrate the National Day because it's a holiday, it's capitalized every year. Rule number 5, capitalize the names, people, places, cities, countries, or states. So we have names of people, places, cities, countries, or streets. For example, I met Ahmed, so the name here, it's a name of a person, it's capitalized in the supermarket this afternoon. Did you go to Hyde Park on your visit to London? So this is a place, Hyde Park, and London is a city in a country. Number 3, this watch is made in Switzerland. So Switzerland here is a country. We have to capitalize the first letter. Number 4, does this bus take you to Oxford Street? It's a name of a street. Rule number 6, capitalized titles use before a surname and place a period dot after them if they are abbreviated. What do I mean by that? Let's look at the examples. So, I sent an email to Mr. Al-Azmi. So, this is an abbreviated or shortened word that is Mr. MR, that is shortened, and we capitalize the M. Al-Azmi, and that is a name, asking him about the homework. Number 2, Mrs. Al-Mutayri is a hard-working teacher. As we just said, it applies the same way. Mrs. Is shortened and written in MRS dot because it's shortened, it's a shortened word, and also capitalized. Al-Mutayri is a name or surname or last name. Rule number 7, capitalize nationalities and languages. For example, Ahmed Zuwail is an eminent Egyptian scientist. He's an Egyptian scientist, so it's a nationality. We capitalize Egyptian or the E. Number 2, we studied Arabic, English, and French at school. So these are all languages. You have to capitalize the letter Arabic, English, and French. Rule number 8, capitalize most words in titles, books, plays, movies, etc. For example, we have Oliver Twist. It is a title of a book, so it's capitalized. We have another title of a book, A Tale of Two Cities. It's capitalized because it's a title of a book. Number 3, Hamlet is a play title. It's also a title. Number 4, Sound of Music is a movie title. So now we have just ended the episode, and this is our summary. In this episode we learned how to answer reading comprehension questions and also use the rules of capitalization appropriately. I hope you learned a lot, and see you next time.